Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gaming the System, the podcast where three intersectional feminists examine gaming and games through a feminist lens. Today I am your host Matt, and I'm joined by my friends Alex and Jem. Before we get started, if you want to support us, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/gamingthesystem for some exclusive content, or you can send us a one-off donation via PayPal to our email address wearegamingthesystem@gmail.com.
Right, we'll move on to number 4, I think. Lae'zel. And as Lae'zel, we have an interesting bunch.
Interesting.
So, top left.
That's me. That's Anna Taylor-Joy, which I think has come up for other people in other places, potentially. But yeah, I think, her performances in things I've seen her in, definitely, I think she has the range for it. And yeah, I mean, that particular hairstyle is definitely giving me Lae'zel-esque.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that was my pick. Yeah.
She's definitely building her, because she's very young. I think she's only mid to late 20s, building up her repertoire. So she did the... what's her name? Furiosa film.
Yes, I've forgotten, but it was a spin-off from Mad Max.
Yeah, playing a young
Furiosa.
Charlize Theron.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I can see that.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Who is the top right? I've not seen her before.
That's Sheila Atim. And she's been in The Woman King, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and also in Foundation series, which has been on iPlayer. And I feel like a sort of black woman would be good for the role of Lae'zel, because she is sort of in a minority in that setting, and I think that's something that people who experience that in their lives can perhaps bring to the role. And I particularly liked Sheila because I think she's got the right sort of bone structure to carry off Lae'zel's makeup and stuff. So that was why I chose her. And I think she's also got a real presence on screen. So yeah, she's obviously done action stuff. So she's probably able to kind of carry off that side of it. So that was my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have to say that we were talking about romance earlier, and I did romance Lae'zel first. But she's terrified me, so then I didn't talk to her again.
She's the first person I slept with. And I'll explain why, hopefully, when we get to. So I'm thinking we're not even halfway through. So shall we do an hour, and then we could reconvene for another session at a later time?
Yeah, I'd say that's
To do the rest, because I want to give them all justice.
Yes.
Cool. So yes, slept with Lae'zel the first time because No. So my first choice was the only one out of everyone in camp who, when I went and spoke to, didn't go, "Oh, have you got someone to celebrate with?" The only one that I genuinely loved from the first time I heard them speak was the only one. So I had to start the entire playthrough and try and woo them, and I succeeded. But yes, she is scary. And I don't know so I've never played this kind of game before, like specifically the dice rolling dictating everything. So what I did, I basically spammed reloading until I got the outcome that I wanted with each dice roll.
You gotta do that on your first
Good,
go.
yes, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who that is an acceptable thing to do.
You paid £60 or whatever for the game. You play it how you want to play it.
I actually paid £120 for it because I bought it on PlayStation for £60 and then didn't play it because I was hoping it would be like the sequel to Dragon Age Inquisition that I'd been hoping for. But I'd never played that sort of top-down turn-based game before. But then a year later, I've moved on to playing on PC for the first time, and mods is that's the ultimate game changer of everything. And the one mod that turned it from a 10 into an 11 was a mod that allows you to look up. Being able to look at the sky, because the entire playthrough on PlayStation, I was twitching with my right analog stick constantly for the entire 100 hours, going, I want to look up, and it getting stuck there every time. And there were so many things that I missed in my first playthrough because I couldn't look up. Like in the Underdark, there's a massive Mage's Tower just off there to the side from one of the entrances you can go in. I went, oh wow, that's awesome, and look at that. And in actual Baldur's Gate itself, being able to look up and go, oh, that's the roof of that awesome building that I've not been able to see. And so yeah, mods are. And Finn, did you say that you mentioned you use mods, don't you?
I do indeed.
Were you using them, as you say, there's problem with, so it's got an inbuilt mod interface now, hasn't it?
Yeah. But the problem is, if you install any mod, it will turn off achievements, which I understand that from a I'm a developer, I understand from a technical standpoint why that makes the most sense and is easiest, but pro tip, if you install Script Extender, you can still get achievements, because the big one for me that I don't want to turn off is there's a bunch of UI improvements. And you hover over somebody and it automatically shows you what resistances they have. That's really useful information. But also, I gave Wyll dreadlocks. The man needs dreadlocks. I'm not losing out on achievements. And Raphael has an open shirt. You're not taking my achievements away just because I'm making people prettier.
But also, I think, we talk a lot, don't we, about accessibility in gaming, and mods is often a way that allows the community to create the accessible tools that the software developers haven't done for whatever reason, and so to then, if you're using a mod to make the game playable for you, and then you have the achievements taken away, that's deeply unfair, really, because it's as you say, I can see the reasons why they would do it, but I feel that there must be ways they can get round that.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody with unlimited companions beating the game on honor mode with everybody in the team is taking away from my achievement.
No,
just because we both have it.
Yeah.
And the core of the argument for every accessibility thing is, it doesn't matter how good the game is if they can't play it.
Exactly.
Yep.
If someone literally cannot play your game, it doesn't matter how awesome you've made it, and it's all about it's all about our artistic vision is the core of everything. No, it's the person who's playing the game that's the core of everything. Mm-hmm. And it's harder to make things that are as accessible as possible, but that's your job. Your job as a game developer, you develop games that everyone can play, and it doesn't matter who's paying for a game as long as they buy it. And that's why, we talk about accessibility features a lot, and it just, it's so.
I will say that there is something to be said for having an artistic vision which deliberately says excludes a number of people from a player base, but I mean that in terms of difficulty. You should still have accessibility features turned on.
I think the choice
Like,
is the key thing, isn't it? Offering the choice. You can have different levels of difficulty, but if you've got some people playing perhaps a difficulty that is accessible for them, that's fine, but other people can play the harder difficulty if they want to, and the two can exist at the same time.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I've just
definitely.
I've seen people equate the difficulty levels with accessibility in a way that is incredibly unhelpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't want an easy mode, so we're not going to put in things to help people who are just using joysticks or can't see properly or whatever. It's like, no, those are two separate
Yes,
issues.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, accessibility is just that, isn't it? It's about being able to access the game in its creative form, in the way that the game designers want you to be able to experience that. And so, but difficulty level is it's a separate thing. They're not you can't fix one with the other. They are I think that's a really good point, Finn. Thank you for raising that, actually.
And accessibility features allow, it's not just for people who need them. You just need to play something like God of War or The Last of Us Part 2, and you see so quickly, just try a few of these, and they can enhance the game for someone who doesn't necessarily need them. The biggest thing, subtitles. Everyone uses subtitles.
Yes.
99% of people don't need them. Technically, they could manage without them, but almost everyone uses them all the time. If you ask someone, oh, does that count as an accessibility feature? They'd say, oh, no. Yeah, it is. It is.
Yes.
And also, one of the best games that I've played in the last year, for the second time, is Elden Ring, because the expansion came out. Shadow of the Erdtree, awesome. I played Elden Ring originally a few years ago on my PlayStation, and I played it the only way you can play it on a console, because there's no mods, and I put my time into it, grinding away, getting all the way to the end, finishing it multiple times. But then this time, I didn't want to just grind myself into oblivion. I just wanted to experience the world, because I've been learning about all the lore of it. And I just wanted to sort of have, it's called journalist mode, where you're basically just trotting along and nothing can really hurt you. And played it. So I played 100 hours on PlayStation and then 100 hours on PC. And it was so good just not having to stress about fighting the world around me.
Well, and I actually want to... The subtitles really does dovetail nicely with the artistic vision, because one of the biggest issues that I have... So I can't hear very well out of my right ear. And audio mixing, not just in video game media, but actually across TV and movies, it's really been shaken up in the last few years because of the different types of speakers that are more common in the home. And the way that the audio mixer... I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah.
It's more obvious in television, but it does happen in gaming, where you'll be watching something and suddenly the voices will go down to nothing and the music will go up really high.
happens so
Like,
often.
if that audio mixing is your artistic vision, that's great, but you gotta have subtitles. Like,
And that's one good thing with games, is that you can often... they've got options to mix the audio itself.
Indeed.
And one of the things that game companies should do, they should just hire the modders that create the mods, because they do things that the game, they just go, oh, we'll just toss you a couple of pounds and make mods for us. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the most modded games in history. I think there are 100 million.
Is it?
Yeah. The Larian put out a statement recently saying that there's been 100 million downloads, I think. I'll double check that in a moment. But yeah, awesome modding stuff, accessibility stuff. One problem with Baldur's Gate 3 is it packs a huge amount of information onto the screen at any given time, especially with the bar at the bottom with all your information and stuff. But I'm sure there are tons of mods that will be very helpful with that. I think we're only halfway through our Lae'zel one, so we've done Anya Taylor-Joy and Sheila Ateem. The next one is Emily Blunt, which is my one. The picture of her is from Edge of Tomorrow, where she plays this like super soldier, basically killing aliens with Tom Cruise. And my thinking was, Lae'zel, orcs she's basically a fantasy Klingon that's kind of just fight and kill and everything, and just remind me of Star Trek Klingons. And so I felt you needed someone who can. She's got that same zealotry of Shadowheart, but with in a different direction. Of every single line she says has something to do with By Vlakith or Skral or this or that. She's always angry about something, and and I just thought that Emily Blunt, any actress who it's getting more common for actresses to properly muscle up for a role, and I just it's really good to be seeing that kind of different like body types that women are having shown on the screen everywhere and in celebrity and that kind of thing. So I think she'd be really good at just beating the shit out of everyone around her. Bottom right, I think that's you, Finn.
Deitchin Lachman. I'm awake. Yes, I'm going to say something and then everybody should boo. Which is, I really liked Joss Whedon growing up.
He's made some good stuff.
She was in Dollhouse. I don't know. That's a bit of a obscure pull. But she was very, very, very kick-ass in that. And every role I've seen her in, she has a lot of range from soft to kick-ass. So
that's from
she covers the full.
That's from Altered Carbon, isn't it?
I don't know.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure that is.
I've never seen Altered Carbon.
I've seen
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
But I had to find one where she looked like she'd just been in a fight.
Oh yeah, she's actually
that was the best one that came up.
She's actually just had a naked fight from that photo, if I remember correctly.
That's very Lae'zel.
Yeah,
that is very Lae'zel.
Yeah, when you have sex with a Lae'zel, you sort of have to like, I'm going to be in charge thing, and then you have, if you roll high enough, you get no, I get to be in charge.
I think you only get that if you're Dragonborn.
Oh. Wow.
Interesting. There's the sexuality of characters is an interesting topic as well, because as far as I know, every romanceable character is bisexual. Pansexual, anything sexual, especially Astarion.
Yeah.
It just made me think Captain Jack Harkness would be a great Astarion, because he's had sex with literally every alien in the galaxy, and I think that's an Astarion energy.
I'm gonna die on the hill I picked when we get to it next time.
I think we'll do one more. I think we can squeeze in one more. And we're going to have Wyll.
Ooh. I think we may have got the same.
So, I've not seen him I've not actually watched him in anything, but from the sounds of it, from what I've heard of him, he is the steamiest of the steamy actors on the circuit at the moment. So, who is that on the top left?
That is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, so apologies. Jean Page.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in Bridgerton, the first series of Bridgerton.
And he's the same. It's the same in the bottom right corner. It's the same guy.
That one looks a lot more like
slightly younger, a younger version of him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Did you pick the same person then?
Yeah.
Why did you pick him?
Me?
Yeah. Well, I did, really.
Well, I picked him because I think he looks a lot like Wyll in the game, and also I think he's got that kind of slightly upper class, slightly roguish kind of feel about him. But I didn't have much to do with Wyll in my playthrough. He wasn't a character. Yeah, he wasn't a character.
I think he's got an interesting story from the small bits that I have seen. But yeah, I think given the sort of like that, he feels like he's a very honourable character. Certainly in terms of romancing, I know that he is someone that is like full commitment kind of.
He's waiting for marriage.
Yeah, exactly. Waiting for marriage. So, which is not necessarily. Well, actually, no. They are married I can't remember what happens in Bridgerton now. It's been a while since I watched it. But, yeah. I just figured it was the sensible choice.
Yeah, I think Wyll was the one I picked as my origin character. Though when I played the origin character, because I wanted to explore his story, because I felt like everyone else's story was quite fleshed out for me during my playthrough, but Will's, it felt like had been a lot that had gone on behind the scenes that we hadn't seen, or and I just thought, yeah, he's got sort of hidden depths, and I think that Reggie is kind of a good actor for conveying that. So yeah, that's mine.
We'll move on to the one on the right. That is another doctor, I think.
Yep, we got another doctor in there. Nikuti Gatwa, I believe.
Yeah.
Last name Gatwa. Yeah. I was going for chaotic bisexual energy.
Yeah,
I had two actors in mind for this because I think that Wyll, depending on which way he goes, and so he's slightly more flexible as a character than Karlach, but not that much. Like, he won't leave if you slaughter the crow. So if we're going for carefree Wyll, we're going chaotic bisexual energy. I just thought the latest Doctor was the perfect candidate for that.
Okay.
And then...
But we all know that the Doctor has a dark side, so, maybe he can can cover both bases.
Well,
literally.
The problem is Will's just a criminally underwritten character.
Yeah.
And, I understand there was a very, very, very last-minute change of actor, very last-minute change of character. Oh. Yeah, real last-minute. The original Wyll was more dark and, obsessed with the optics of being a hero, but wasn't a hero, and then his eye was taken out by a goblin. So, in Act 1, when you're with the goblins, he, really has a grudge against them, and is really underbelly. But people didn't like it, so they changed it. I just wish they'd given him more dialogue and choices.
Yeah.
But because of that, that's why I picked two different people.
So the bottom left one is yours as well.
Yes, and I am so going to say this wrong. It's Chuadl, and then Ejiofor. And referring again to my prior Joss Whedon habit, has anybody seen Serenity?
Yes.
He is the bad guy in the movie Serenity.
Oh, yes, he is, isn't he?
Dripping class. This is... I've seen him in other stuff, but that's the big one where it doesn't matter when this man is on screen. He's just... class and sex, on full on display. So I was like, okay, well, that's our alternative Wyll. Our alternative, because he is a nobleman. We have our chaotic bisexual, or we have our very noble, classy sexy adventurer.
So Chiwetel is him before he makes his pact with the devil, and then he in the freedom away from the big city and his father's pressure, he becomes the chaotic bisexual.
I like that.
Yeah, that's they should have written that. That would have been perfect. I've decided this time, after Gale, I will say that he's my least favourite character. After you guys have shown, after you guys have said yours, have shown. Obviously, you like him because of these fantastic actors. Have any of you played Mass Effect Andromeda?
Oh God, no.
Okay, so there's a character in it called Liam Costa, and he is just a rubbish limp fish of a character, and this actor plays him really well as that limp fish, and so that I had settled on him as really quickly, like from when I started playing as Wyll. I thought he reminds me of him. So that was I can move past that. I think, oh, he sounds similar. I thought it might be the same actor, but that's okay. But then there were two massive red flags that turned me against him from the start. One of them is I'm very suspicious of anyone who refers to themselves in the third person. He's always going, the Blade of Avernus. That's not something the Blade of Avernus would do. It's time for you to face the Blade of Avernus. And later on, when he decides whether I'm going to be am I either going to stay the Blade of Avernus or become the Blade of Baldur's
am I going to
Gate?
stay the Blade of Frontiers, or am I going to become the Blade of Avernus?
Yes.
Yeah. And then he makes his decision, and you all go, okay. And then you go back to whatever you were doing.
No, but he doesn't make the decision. That's what's so bad about it. And I don't want to go into it too much, but like the racism underlying the character choices that were made between it. Oh, poor Wyll.
Okay. He does do what he thinks is best. He did sacrifice everything to when he got himself exiled. That's fair enough. But then the ultimate red flag, and I think, Finn, you should agree with me on this one, because I remember from watching the last episode, you describing your golden retriever girlfriend, Karlak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things that happens, I think, oh, okay, Wyll, red flag 1, red flag 2, you sound like this other character, but okay, come back to camp, it'll be fine. We go and find Karlak. And Karlak was the reason that I picked up Baldur's Gate 3 again, because I was watching a playthrough and was just doing something else, and then I heard her voice for the first time, and I went, oh, and looked, and then see this magnificent, massive horned, massive woman, awesome,
muscle mommy,
and that's what got me started playing the game. And then on my first playthrough, defeated the goblins, was at camp and said, "Hi, Karlak." And she said, all I'm missing is a flame retardant lover to spend the night with. And you go, ah. And she goes, oh, no, let's not ruin a good thing. And that hurt. I've been rejected in real life times where it wasn't anywhere near as painful as that was. But
I feel you.
Yeah. But fortunately, I was able to restart the game and made sure that I did everything that she liked to that point. And then we went off. Well, I'll save that for when we do.
There's a mod for that.
Really?
There's a mod that shows you who approves of what choices and by how much.
It'd be nice if we had that in real life.
Wouldn't it just?
And yeah, so ultimate red flag, he wants to kill Karlak. When you bring Karlak back to camp, and he goes, "We have to kill this devil," and I go, Karlak could be everything that he said she was, and I would cut Wyll's head off for just suggesting it.
This is the passion we need to be bringing to our Baldur's Gate romances.
Exactly.
Yes. Not his fault. But also, I would also murder most of the camp for Karlach.
Yeah, so would I. But fortunately, you give him the chance to come to his senses, and he's very easily led, I think, because it only takes like 3 sentences for him to go, "Oh yeah, I was wrong actually about that."
Yeah. And then he suffers for it.
Yeah. And
I will say, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I will say that the only thing I haven't let him try and make that decision for himself yet at the beginning, because I've been playing on honor mode quite a lot. I know he won't really make a decision. He won't make a decision at the end in either of it about his pact or which blade to become without your input, which is the bit that really frustrates me, because everybody else, is influenced by their journey, and then that's how they. But not Wyll. But I haven't done it. I haven't tried just letting him do whatever the hell he wants at the beginning, because I never want Karlach to die. So that I don't know if you don't talk him out of it, does he come around, or does he always kill?
Yeah, I've
a special girl.
I've not been able to think.
Not tried it.
I've not been able to think. I can't even imagine taking that path. So I've seen. Have you seen the freeze frame? If you could cut Karlach's head off and display it, and I think that's something to do with the dirge or something. This is horrible of Karlach ahead, and I go, no, I can't even imagine that. But when I played one of my later playthroughs where I was going to make some nasty decisions and be a worse person, I purposely didn't. I just didn't interact with Karlach at all. I left her in Act 1 because I didn't want her to see the things that I was going to do.
Yeah, wait for the best.
Yeah, but yeah, and she. We'll finish with this little bit because I think it's quite funny, and then we'll come back and do the rest of the character another time. Jem, I've poked fun at Jem before for having sex with the Emperor. Because I thought, and even though you don't have to justify it, it's fine.
Calamari.
It's fine. Yeah.
Don't tell Gale.
Ink shaming.
Don't tell Gale. He doesn't
Orpheus
know.
will do that for you.
He didn't. It was all right. He didn't. It was.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but just nobody else tell him. Okay.
You had sex in front of Orpheus.
Well, sometimes if you do that, because the thing that really makes me go, you're a manipulative asshole even more than normal, is you have your lovely calamari dinner, and then like 4 of your companions come through the portal afterwards, and I'm like, you did that on purpose. You totally did that on purpose.
The Emperor's such an interesting character, because I realised why I didn't like him was just getting past the appearance and him. We'll talk to him. We'll talk about him at length in our next episode. And it wasn't until after a little while later I remembered that Karlach volunteered to transform into a Mind Flayer. You're not supposed to be able to see my questions for the next time. Forget
wipe them from our minds.
Forget I saw nothing. The Emperor has wiped my memory.
All you can see is just.
Just think of Octodad.
Yes, and Karlach volunteered to become a Mind Flayer at the end, and so I married Mind Flayer Karlach. So I probably had more sex with a squid than you did, Jem. So I was being.
Next time you'll have to go to hell together.
No, yeah, I think
Yeah.
And it was nice because her heart's fixed. Fixes her heart, and then you can go off and live happily
Have
ever
squid
after.
babies.
Squid babies. Yes, yay!
Also, and this is technically somebody fucked up, but I like the fan theory that sprung up around it, because Withers does say at some point that the Squiddy Boys don't have souls.
Yeah.
So it's really weird that they're doing this plan, because what do they have with an army of Illithids? But when Karlach changes, if you ask him again, he's like, oh no, actually, Squiddy Karlach does have a soul. It's like, I like to think that's just because Karlach is so good and strong that even being a squid won't do anything.
Yeah.
Negatively
Well, I think that is
character.
true. I'm very happy to sign up for that worldview.
Yeah.
Yes, our beloved Karlach will have to wait until next episode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We'll, having mentioned Withers, have any of you heard of the, I think you both, whether Finn has heard of it as well, the Withers all-natural mod?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the voice actor reading it?
No.
Wow.
There's a... okay, I'm going to send this to you afterwards, because I don't... Are any of you on the OK Buddy Baldur subreddit?
No.
It's the horny version of the Baldur's Gate 3 subreddit. It's just shit posting. But somebody wrote, there's a person on there who role plays as Withers. Like, it's if Withers had a Reddit account, that's this person. And they wrote a rant about Withers' big naturals, where they were like, I'm tired of these bazongas. And somebody gave it to the actor on Cameo. And he read it. It's a work of art.
Yeah, you
I will
must
have to
send
that
that.
to you.
The cast are such a bunch of legends. To just be able to go from just jobbing like actors with relative success to suddenly being massive global megastars, and to be able to like manage that and also be everything that we hoped they would be.
And I will say, because I feel a bit sorry for them because the line's icky, but the way Neil Newbin has handled it has really helped like teach me how to interact with actors and things. Because he's like, no, we're connected by this character and our individual journeys with this character. So I'm not a Starian. I don't have like a canonical, because people will come up to, what's a Starian's favourite pie? And he'd be like, whatever you think it is.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice to sort of get the actor's perspective on like what connects them to their fans. Because also, like, I was at a talk at Comic-Con and Jennifer English and her girlfriend, somebody gave them a sexual aid. That was already open. Somebody thought that was an appropriate thing to give an actor.
Okay.
But they've been amazing. I just, like, what a world to have to navigate through.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good topic for us in the future, actually, the whole sort of parasocial relationships with the voice actors and the characters that they play, because I mean, I know we were talking about Joss Whedon earlier, I think, who mentioned Joss Whedon. Yeah, and I'm obviously, not obviously, but I am a massive Buffy fan, and I was like full on proper in love with Spike. Properly. I mean, as an adult, not as a child. I was a grown adult, and I was like properly in love with him. And I remember just thinking, like, yeah, it does happen. It does happen. So we all understand you and Karlach, Matt.
And I think what they have done really well is sort of that gently separating themselves from the character. So when someone does come up and say to them, oh, what's a Starian's favourite pie? He doesn't go, I'm not a Starian, you moron. He goes, we've gone through different journeys with him. What's your Starian's favourite pie? On this particular day, I was thinking of this one. it'd probably be something saucy because Larian can turn the sauce on like that. He's one of my favourite characters. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is it's a wonderful thing that continues to do wonderful things. And soon there will be cross-play.
Indeed.
I know, I'm so excited. I'm going to get to play with my sister.
It's exciting stuff on the horizon. I think that'll do for today. We've gone for an hour and a quarter, and obviously we definitely need to stop and come back for another time because we've barely scratched the surface on lots of these things. So it's very exciting. Finn, thank you very much for joining us again. Hopefully,
always happy to talk about Baldur's Gate. Thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And we have myself, Matt, Alex, and Jem. You see new stuff from us every Thursday. Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you want more Baldur's Gate 3 stuff, we'll be coming up with it shortly. So until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of Gaming the System. If you want to support us, you can donate to us through our PayPal by sending it to wearegamingthesystem@gmail.com if you want to send us a one-off donation. If you want to donate to us monthly, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/gamingthesystem. Until next time, bye-bye.